Okay, it's starting now. Good day, Miss Raquel Hida.
Good day, too.
All right, now for the first part of this documentary, we would like to hear your sentiments about your life during the pandemic. Kindly share with us your experiences during 2020 to 2021.
Oh, so the only clear memory I have during 2020 and 2021 is that time was slow. I mean, in the first weeks of lockdown, the prospect of long free time felt pleasant, but as days went by, I gradually felt like a zoo animal. It was so boring. Even there are a lot of activities I am able to do because I am free from schoolworks. So the world outside changed drastically as COVID 19 went wild, but my life remains stagnant, and it seemed to me that time was going in slow mo inside our home. So the consecutive lockdowns gave me so much free time to the extent that I had lost track of the significant things that I should be doing, and every day was a monotonous existence. I was itching to do something to scratch off the boredom and the feeling of emptiness. So I thought that it was a perfect time to do something worthy. I mean, I had planned to have or start a interesting hobby to enhance my potential. I had think of practicing the art of writing poetry and sketching the mountains on the horizons. And however, I let my guard down as soon as I perceived that I had a long, long time ahead of me. I didn't make any attempts to start. I was too distracted with so many noises from my head saying it's more fun watching random videos on YouTube because it doesn't need much effort or organizations of thoughts. So I binged on long animes or detective series, and it was really too late. I mean, late before I realized that procrastination had already manifested in my system. That was the darkest villain of my 2020 and 2021. That procrastination. Procrastination. My body and mind was lethargic. So that's the precise word to describe how I feel those times. And I developed idle habits like sleeping late or not sleeping at all, or waking up in the next morning very late, and skipping essential meals and spending long hours on social media and online gaming. So, also, my parents developed a habit to counterattack mine, which was the incessant nagging. As their glares pierce me with burning contempt, pierce me, oh my gosh, and their tongues became sharper. I became more mad at myself. So, we always got into hot arguments that had caused me to feel emotionally distant to them. It was a really complete mess. And I abhor myself to the point that I want to self destruct. I grew more anxious, and depression sucked all my vitality and hopes. And as days went on, I was becoming more restless and impatient as I worried about my future self if I don't make it to change myself for the better. So that's the only memorable experiences and life struggle I had during the past 2 years.
So, how did you overcome all the ordeals you have experienced?
Let's see. So I started to feel the overbearing guilt of seeing the unhappiness of my parents because of my indifference to their remonstrances. I can't remember when did it occur to me that strong impulse to change the way I live so I wouldn't be the family's burden. The first life-changing step I took was applying the concept of butterfly effect to my every action. Butterfly effect is a result of doing a small change in conditions that can result in large difference in a later stage. So I began altering my detrimental habits little by little. I uninstalled noisy social media and read books instead when I felt bored. Sorry, the dog is so noisy. This more or less decreased my depression. I mean, it really helped. I also force myself to sleep early at night so I can wake up in the next morning able to do my chores. So I keep making small changes until good results come to me one by one. And I acquired new worthwhile habits and an optimistic mindset that restored the soundness of my mind. The last step that I'm still working on now is to strengthen my patience. So that's how I just overcome them. It was really not easy, but you really need patience. So I did all my best to calm myself, and I realized that patience needs more deep reflection and control. That's why it's not easy to master. So I have to learn to respect my limits first. Of course, you have to accept your weaknesses so you can work on it. So I'm still learning many new lessons to discipline myself, and I really need to have more patience. Yeah, I feel proud that I somehow made progress.
Oh, that was amazing. So, what are your hopes and goals for this year?
My goals this year, first, I wanted to hone my passion in writing, and second, to learn to speak in English fluently because someday I want to become a great English teacher in abroad. And my hopes, I hope that my family and pets will live a healthy and comfortable life this year, and that depression will soon leave me so I can finally see the beautiful colors of this life God has given me.
What are the improvements and changes you wanted to have this year?
The improvements I want to have are good steady habits and enduring concentration towards my goals and improving more my self discipline. I also wanted to make new acquaintances and friends because I only have two friends.
Thank you very much. For our last question, will you share with us the most valuable lesson you have learned from your experiences in the past 2 years?
Um, the most valuable lesson that I have learned from my experiences in the past 2 years is that tiny habits becomes routine and routine becomes our way of life. So if you wanted to fix the way you live, you should start changing your habits. That's all.